Hey guys, Discipline Magic here, and first of all, I finally fixed a problem with my audio that's been on the last, 20 videos. You probably didn't notice, it's super subtle, but it was recording using the stereo mixer instead of the actual direct line in. If you know anything about computer audio, you know that that's not good. That's what I get for stealing a sound clip from another video the lazy way last time. Anyway, Aether Revolt is about to come out, and people are sort of excited. I mean, nobody I talked to. But the good news is some of the cards look like they actually might be kind of okay on price. The bad news is most of them don't. So basically, they went completely mental. They lost their damn minds when it comes to the power level. They're just like, take everything in the past, all your cards, and burn them, because all you need are cards from Kaladesh and mostly Aether Revolt, because it's like modern grade cards. I mean, it's just stupid. So the nice little side effect is, oh, but then it's worth something, right? That's not how it works. They could make every single rare very well sought after by people, and it still wouldn't really raise the price of the set. Not a whole lot. The reason for that is people are going to order more boxes and open more singles until it's not profitable. So basically, people are going to open the new set until it's about $110 per box EV. If it's above that, why would they not order more and open more? Now, the only response to that, the only answer would be if there isn't enough to go around, if Wizards didn't produce enough and there's like a delay where they're printing more and shipping more. Now, Pokemon just did that with XY Evolutions. The first wave sold out, and then the second wave sold out, and then finally the third wave was, as far as I could tell, big enough. That's when I finally got a case. By the way, I bought a case of Pokemon, in case I didn't mention that. But yeah, it was a special order from a customer. They wanted 2 boxes. I'm like, I'll pick up a case, see what happens. Yeah, we saw what happened. I lost money on it. Third time around's a little bit late. I mean, the demand for that set was huge, but the average value of the cards was terrible. It's just people wanted them, and people who wouldn't normally buy them bought them. So a whole bunch of factors like that could happen to an MTG set at any given time. If people really want full art lands, they're going to over open, and look at the price of BFZ and OGW now. In fact, look at the price at the time. It was pathetic. I think both of them had like a $150 to $175 EV on the day of release, but it fell so quickly. Like, we're talking 24 to 48 hours down to like 120. I mean, it just absolutely got flushed down the toilet. So the excitement over the, whoop-de-doo super rares, the, what do they call them? Masterpiece cards. They are retroactively called Masterpiece cards, by the way. Everybody was all amped about that, and then the full art lands. So they had more reasons to open it, which drove down the cost of the actual cards that people played with, like the rares and the mythics. So that can drag a set way down, but the other thing is what can raise a set up? Well, if standard players and modern players go after different cards, that would be ideal. Or if they go after the same cards, okay, it'll just drive up that one card higher. Now, the other thing that might drive it up is any kind of value in the foils or the uncommons. Now, I say foils because, you're probably thinking, well, duh, but I mean like Treasure Cruise foil, $35 that was. I think it was a 50-cent card because I think it was a common, but the foil was $35. I personally pulled like 2 or 3 of those, so yeah. I mean, that's like an extra free box. I mean, that's around $100, even after expenses, probably $80. So, I mean, that would have normally been like a 50-cent bulk rare that I didn't even sell. Or not bulk rare, bulk foil card, obviously. Now, Aether Revolt does seem to, at least for the time being, have, some of those traits. So it might actually be profitable, which would be really, really, really nice. I have not actually ran the EV calculations yet because they're really complicated with the uncommons and just a lot of extra math. And then you got to add in like the Planeswalker decks and how much those cost and stuff. I suppose that wouldn't really go into a box EV, but I ordered some, so it goes into my calculations. But I will say, though, you might see a little bit of a pattern in these cards that are the most expensive on the way down. So let's just hit that real quick. Heart of the Kirin, $25. I absolutely do not think that it's worth that. It has Crew 3 and it has Vigilance. It's a terrible combination because to be able to swing with it and then also block with it, that's basically Crew 6. And it has to be modular. You can't just have one creature with power of 6. It's crew it once for 3, then crew it on defense for 3. So that's pretty stupid. It's flying, it's 4 damage, okay, and it costs 2, okay. I think the only reason that it's expensive, because the whole loyalty counter thing, that's stupid. Who would ever do that? That is incredibly counterproductive. The actual reason that people like it is because you can permanently crew it. I mean, it's the same as any other vehicle. You can +3 and first strike it, so it's a first strike flying vigilance 7/4 forever. Oh, and then it can block. I mean, yeah, this is red-white vehicles right there. Do I think it's worth 25? Hell no, not even close. I'd put it at 15, so I think that one's going to just get completely demolished. Now, the next one I don't understand. $16 Herald of Anguish. I mean, yeah, he has improvised, so you could theoretically cast him for 2. It's not that hard to bring out servos in black, especially black-white. He is flying. He is a 5/5, so a 5/5 for 2 mana, not bad, but it's not like you could get him out on turn 3 for 2 mana. You know, you'd have to wait a while. He isn't legendary, though, and I think that's huge. That definitely goes into the price. And then at the beginning of your end step, each opponent discards a card. That is overpowered as hell, but if you brought him out late game enough, most decks would not hold a card. They'd be like, oh cool, land, drop it. Oh cool, a spell, use it. Now if it's a counter spell, okay, you know, but then it's the end of your turn, they could just use it on your turn. So if they're holding something in their hand, it's probably because they either can't afford it or don't even want the card in the first place. So that ability is annoying, but I think it's overrated. The other one is insane, though. Improvise mixed with sacrifice and artifact for 2, don't even tap him. Target creature gets -2/-2 till end of turn. That'll take out indestructibles. You could sack 5 servos and get rid of an Ulamog. I mean, 10 mana would be a little bit much. I don't know how you'd come up with that. So all of his abilities and stats and everything just scream not great. I mean, I just don't see the benefit. I mean, he's good, don't get me wrong. He's definitely not a bad card, but he's not a $16 card, so I definitely think that is going to go down. It's what people call a timing card. It is very curve and timing sensitive. If you have it in your opening hand, it's a dead card, and if you pull it late game, its abilities really aren't that great. It is 5 damage in the air, though, for 2. You can't really get past that. So like I said, it's a good card. Certainly not a $16 card, so I'm going to say that one's going to tank. Next up, Tezzeret. No surprise there. I should probably specify Tezzeret the Schemer, specifically. This one is honestly not really as good as the one from the dual deck, which is kind of hilarious. Master of Metal is so much better. I might actually have these flip-flopped. I don't even remember. Too lazy to check. So he brings out an Ethereum Cell, which is like some garbage can't attack or block Scion. Completely pointless, other than the fact that it's an artifact and you can use it for Convoke. Yay. His -2 is target creature gets +X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of artifacts you control. You have no control over the amount of artifacts you control at any given time. So it's unreliable, stupid. You can't use it as a reliable boost. You really can't even use it as a reliable kill spell. And would you really desperately need a kill spell if you had 8 artifacts on the field? Probably not. It's an Ulamog killer, though, so whatever. But then his -7 is okay. I mean, it'll win the game eventually, but it really does leave the door open. So he's all about, do you have a ton of artifacts on the field? So I get it. So assuming you do, this isn't bad. But basically, Ensoul artifact every single upkeep. So you could make a different artifact creature, or a different artifact, not even a creature, make it become a creature with base power and toughness 5/5, which could be a vehicle, could be a servo, could be something that's not even a creature, could be a Thopter. Doesn't matter. It would maintain flying too if it was a Thopter. It also maintains, lifelink, death touch, first strike, whatever. So not bad, definitely not bad. So every single upkeep you get to do that to another one of your artifacts. You're almost guaranteed to win the game, but not absolutely guaranteed. It depends what's on the field. So if you have nothing good on the field, this isn't going to save you. It's going to do nothing. So once again, $15, do I think that's a fair price? No. I think he's going to go down a little bit. I mean, everybody loves Planeswalkers. He's not going to sink much, but we've seen like $5, $6 Planeswalkers in the very recent past. Next up, we've got Ajani Unyielding. He's $11. I think that's more appropriate. Once again, this version of him isn't that great. You got the +2, reveal the top 3 cards of your library, put all non-land permanent cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. That's pretty nice. I mean, that's like massive, massive card draw on a massive scale, and that's more Blue's thing, and he's not Blue, so, okay, I get that. So I think he's going to stick at 11 just because of that. I mean, you always got to look at the plus whatever first one and see if it's good, and yeah, it is. And then his -2 is Swords to Plowshares repetitively, so that's kind of nice. I still think if you get rid of anything big, you're going to set yourself back so many turns they can probably recover, and if you get rid of something small and insignificant, it's like, why did you need to do that? I guess get it out of the way for chump blocking. But I mean, if a Planeswalker's ability is like destroy tiny little creature, great. Like that, it just doesn't sound good. So if you got rid of Ulamog this way, but because it says exile target creature, doesn't matter if it's indestructible or not, you'd be giving them 10 health. I mean, if your deck is built right and you're running all giant flyers and Gisela and angels and whatever, and you can hit them for 10 in one turn, great. Then you really did want Ulamog gone. So it's a nice insurance policy, definitely not the star of the card at all. Now his ultimate is completely mental, that's crazy, it's a -9, so that's fitting. Put 5 1/1 counters on each creature you control and 5 loyalty counters on each other Planeswalker you control. It almost doesn't matter what type of deck you're playing at that point. That is crazy. If you had tokens out, that's nuts. If you're playing Super Friends, that's nuts because everybody else's ultimates are going to go off on the same turn if you play it correctly. I mean, that's just crazy. That +2 ability, though, I mean, with Smuggler's Copter gone, there it is. I don't like that he costs 6, though, but, well, what can you do? So, kind of reminiscent of Kaladesh, the next one is a pretty big fall off. I mean, it's still a mythic. They've all been mythics so far. That's not good that there's not a rare above a certain price point. We'll find out how low it goes in a second. But for $7, you can get yourself Paradox Engine. If anything, I think this will go up. Whenever you cast a spell, untap all non-land permanents you control. There's so much broken crap you could do with that. There are many, 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 many ways I've already seen that you can cast virtually your entire deck. This is good in Modern. It's good in anything. I mean, honestly, this could go in my Modern deck, Tap Dance. I mean, it's like tap manipulation on a grand scale. I don't like that it costs 5, but I'd really hate this card if it costs 4, so I do think that that's appropriate. So I think that one will hover around that price, maybe go up a little bit. Next up, Tezzeret, Master of Metal, $7. No surprise. Like I said, he is better. His -3 could win the game. It's like better than his ultimate, although his ultimate is completely mental. So +1, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an artifact card. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order, or in a random order. -3, target opponent loses life equal to the number of artifacts you control. Like I said, just -3, win the game. Just like that. Easy, easy. You don't gain the life, but still, that could be lethal. I mean, there's almost no way to stop that. Now, -8, okay, you win the game, period. Gain control of all artifacts and creatures that target opponent controls. Period. Don't give them back, ever. They are yours, you are keeping them, you just won the game. It really should have just said artifacts, but then honestly his -3 would have been better than his ultimate. Also, doesn't take very long to get to that ultimate. Worse yet, there's a couple different ways to add artificial amounts of counters, loyalty counters to him. So him at $7, oh no, that is going to go up. Next up, Walking Ballista. Now this is the first one that is actually a rare, so it's the most expensive rare. It's only $7, but that's not bad. I just wish there was more in that price range. He's basically really good because at any time you could just simply win the game. Well, under some circumstances. So he's basically a hangerback walker, but if you pay 4, you can put a 1/1 counter on him. And then remove a 1/1 counter from him as a second activated ability, and it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So you could take out a problem creature, or you could finish off the player. So if the player has 9 health left, and you have 5 counters on him, you only really have to get them down 4 more life, and then boom, 1/1/1/1/1/1 dead. So that's kind of nice. I like that. And the whole time, he's huge. He's an actual gigantic creature. So if you keep getting the counters up there, they can't swing against you. It's just like self-contained awesomeness. And I don't think it's overpowered, although there's all kinds of ways to drop way too many counters on him that I think is kind of broken. In fact, there's a way to drop infinite counters on him, and that's a little bit of a problem. You can also choose a higher value for X and then reduce his overall casting cost, and that's kind of broken by itself. So do I think he'll stay around 7? Yeah, I mean, right around there. Next up is Aether Sphere Harvester, which is $6.50. By the way, I'm using Card Kingdom prices, pre-order too. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy, and then if you pay 1 energy, it gains lifelink till end of turn, and it's only crew 1, plus it's a 3/5, only costs 3 to get out. So permanently crewing it permanently... Oh no, it doesn't permanently have lifelink. So permanently crewing it, it's good, and then pay 1 energy on top of it, it's better. You got the Ensel Artifact card, you've got the permanently crew card, and then you've got the other permanently crew card. There you go. There's your solution. I mean, you could run red-white vehicles with nothing but auto crew, and this would be rough. So I think it'll hover right around that price. Haha, puns, because it's hovering. Next up, we got the other Ajani. I mean, you guys know what he does. He's $6. I think he'll stay around there. I mean, he's good. The +2/+1 thing is cool, and the -11 is pretty crazy unless they have a removal. So he's just good. He's just not like crucial. I will say, though, he has the potential to skyrocket because of his the fact that he puts counters on something, and I think it might go in the counters deck, and that one might become crazy powerful. Now, the funny thing is, this is one of the last cards I'm going to mention. $6 for Fatal Push. $6. It's an uncommon. I don't even know what the foil is. I think it's like 15. So that is crazy. That is going to drive up the price like you wouldn't believe. Now, the problem is Ajani's Expertise, $6. Barrel, Chief of Compliance, which everybody's interested in for most of the other formats, $5.50. Then you're down to $5 with Rishkar, Pima, Renegade. And then the best counterspell ever printed in all of Magic, $4.50. It seems insultingly low. I think that one might go up. And then this is where it gets weird. Metallic Mimic, yeah, it's only rare, but it goes in every tribal deck ever built in any format ever, and it's only $4.50. I mean, there is your red flag right there. Mechanized Production, I don't get how this is a $4 Mythic when they're already proven deck lists that are practically all the same. You know, I made one, other people made one, they're a couple cards off, but people just get it that this is going to be a hot deck. Do people think that's not going to work? Because it's going to work, and it's going to be annoying as hell. I mean, this is Guild Gates all over again. So the fact that that's only $4 is deeply concerning. I suppose it could hit 15 if the deck takes off, but it just shows the level of confidence. Planar Bridge is $4. I don't know why. It's unplayable in Standard. It's just a Tron card. Honestly, I think it'll go down. They might have to ban it from Tron too. It doesn't take Tron's power up that much, but it just seems broken and feels annoying. Now this one I don't get. Spire of Industry, $4. What the hell? It is better than Mana Confluence, okay? Mana Confluence is like $4 last time I checked. Next up, Gonti's Aether Heart. It gives you an extra turn. It's only $3. Extra turns are stupid and waste your energy. His ability leads to so many infinite loops with energy, though. I mean, it's almost infinite loops. Like anything that's an artifact, there you go. Anything that has a trigger-related energy, there you go. Any other ETB doublers, there you go. I mean, just this by itself with Panharmonicon, there you go. Flickering, there you go. There's your energy. I mean, this card is just broken. So $3 for a broken card? I don't think Aether Revolt's going to do very well, and that's kind of the point of this video. There are some huge cards that are selling for high, but some of the stuff, I mean, like Greenbelt Rampager, that's the next one. That's in Super Elephant, the 3/4 for 1. It's under $3. Next is SRAM's Expertise, same price, $2.79. That is what I would call borderline unsellable because it'll probably be $8 per set of 4 on eBay. So every card that I haven't mentioned yet is unsellable. That's a lot of cards. It's a small set, but that's a boatload of cards. In fact, I'm still looking for the other SRAM card. That's the other infinite loop card. Where the hell is that one? I mean, next up, Exquisite Archangel, $2.50. Oath of Ajani, $2.50. What the hell? People got their undies in a bundle over that card. I already made the video saying that I didn't think it was very good at all, but, you know, it's good. It's just not like, oh my god, $15 good. Apparently, they agree with me. Next up, you're hitting the $1.99 bin. That is not a good bin to be in. And look, it's a mythic, and a couple rares. Wow, that is bad. By the way, it's there's no way I could put the cards up in a readable format this quickly, but Indomitable Creativity and Lightning Runner are the two mythics, and then Barrel's Expertise, $1.50, ouch. Hope of Girapur, $1.50, and that's the 1/1 flying artifact. Okay, doesn't even have crew. It just is an artifact. In fact, it's a Thopter. Pretty darn good card, especially to drive up artifact cost, chump blocker in the air, and its ability is really good. So for that to be $1.50, that is scary. I mean, people are not confident about the price of anything. In fact, Whir of Invention is $1.50. What the hell? It is literally Chord of Calling for artifacts. I mean, that is powerful. I think people don't like that it's triple blue, but still, it should be like $4. Inspiring Statuary, $1.30, and that's one of the infinite loop cards that you can do. It's a little bit more elaborate. I think it takes 4 cards, but it is part of an infinite loop. And after that, I mean, I don't have words. SRAM Senior Artificer, $1.29. Whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle spell, draw a card. So in other words, Smuggler's Copter. Okay, a little bit worse than Smuggler's Copter, but come on, it's ridiculous free cards. He's also, once again, part of a near infinite combo. I mean, if you haven't caught on already, Aether Revolt is going to be nothing but, win on turn 4, overpowered decks, and infinite combos. It's basically modern. So if you're into that, good for you. If you're not, good for you too, because you're smart. It's not fun to play that, by the way. And to bring up the bottom of the list, there is a Mythic for 99 cents. Also, a Hardened Scale Snake, aka Winding Constrictor, 49 cents. How do you explain that? It goes in the counter deck, although some of the counter decks don't play those colors. It's kind of the backbone of counters, though, so hard to say. And see, even like Solemn Recruit, automatic counters, you can get double counters, you can get counter dropping triggers, and it would be perfect in the counter deck because it already has Double Strike. And it's white. I mean, it's the counter card, 49 cents. I don't get it. I don't get why people aren't making these cards be the actual price that they should be. I mean, there's no other way to say it. The 7-Eleven card that costs 39 cents. You can crew that on turn 3 and swing with it permanently as a 10-11 first striker, and it's 39 cents. I have a feeling the fact that it's an uncommon has something to do with it, but I'd put it above Fatal Push. Not in Modern, obviously, so that might, tweak it a little bit, but I don't understand the pricing on this. I really don't. Even Free Jam Regent, 40 cents. It's a 4/4 flyer for 2 mana. Now, the good part is, this is the whole point of my video that I was making, a lot of these cards are going to go through the roof, so do not buy list them, do not trade them in, don't sell them, don't do anything. If it looks like a good card that's like got potential, it might potentially be in a combo, keep in mind that the entire set is super wide open. I mean, it's like ETB clone. Okay, what cards have ETB effects? All of them, just about. So, people were like, oh, Panharmonicon's not going anywhere, I'm going to trade it away. And then it spikes to like $11, and then it falls right back down because, net deckers are stupid, finicky idiots. Doesn't mean the card's any weaker, it still goes in hyper powerful decks. So if you know that a card is powerful, you're just looking at it and you're like, no, that is powerful, I would hold it. And I would say that more strongly for Aether Revolt than any other set I've ever seen in the past. The card prices are going to be on such a roller coaster as people say, well, let's try this. Let's bring this to a tournament. Oh, now let's try this. Oh, look what won the tournament this time. I mean, it's going to be pretty wild. Well, at least potentially. I mean, it does look to me like 4 decks are just utterly going to dominate. If you're not playing one of the 4 top decks, you don't stand a chance in hell. But the set is so wide open, nobody can wrap their heads around it yet. Nobody has found the deck, and they probably won't for at least 2 months. I think the deck power will just keep going up and up and up and up and up every time there's a tournament. I also think people will be winning with wildly different strategies. Now, would I be surprised if just one deck or 2 decks or 3 decks or even 4 decks just utterly dominate? No, because I do feel like that's what's going to happen. But just in case, just as an insurance policy, I would hold on to certain rares and certain mythics that are pretty much universal, or they're part of a huge concept that people are talking about, because it's very likely to go up, like more so than any other normal set. So, little silver lining to end the video. Hope you like my wonderful background artwork. I've been thinking about either, putting in some work in Photoshop in the background, because some people find it cool, although I have very crappy art skills. In the future, I might stream some, just storyboarding or animations, backslides, illustrations, whatever's going into video. I might stream some of that on Twitch, and then have you guys give your input, and I'll just draw whatever you say, basically, and then throw it into the video. I might be doing more of that when I get a little bit more time. But let me know what you think about it. I prefer CNC gameplay because that's freaking awesome. But the vast majority of you do what you probably should do and what my channel is designed for, which is don't even look at the video, just listen to it. It's pretty clear which ones are meant to be looked at and which ones aren't. Really more of a podcast channel, in case you didn't catch that yet. So that said, pretend to be excited about Aether Revolt, I guess. I'll see you guys next video.